All right. Thanks, Justin, for getting on this call. Really appreciate it. I remember last year I had, my best promo was with your one of your offers. My people really responded to your stuff, and I saw you had something else coming out pretty soon, pretty shortly. But it's not about that right at the moment, although it's a follow up to what you had already launched last year, I believe, correct? And
Yeah, last August.
yeah, it
So
was last
a little over
August.
6 months ago.
Yeah, and I recall you saying something about a lot of your customers gave you feedback on what they were lost on, I'm assuming, and you went ahead and followed up with that. But that'll be towards like the end of the call, like I told you. We'll go ahead and let them know about that once we get this situated. The questions here. So for the people that don't know who you are, Justin, again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day. I know you got a
Yeah.
lot going on between your clients and you doing the thing with your offers. For the people that don't know and are meeting you for the first time, who is Justin Glover and what brought you to the whole internet digital marketing space? Like,
Yeah. So who I am, I would say I'm a father and husband first, business owner, entrepreneur kind of after that. Um, that that in and of itself kind of shares my personal priorities and how I just look at and approach life. I build a business because I want deeper and better connections with family. Um, and so I've been in the game of making money online for several years, since 2008, so well over a decade. I started because I was following the traditional path that I was taught growing up: go to work or go to school, get a good job, work your way up, make a lot of money, and you're set for life. All that, fun stuff. And so I started that path, got a job, worked my butt off. I wasn't making as much money as I wanted to make. I had other things that I wanted to buy and other fun that I wanted to have, but needed more money to do that. They wouldn't give me more money. And so I just maxed out the hours they would allow me to work, and I went and got a second job. Exact same roadblock happened from the second job. I realized that I I can't work. They won't let me work anymore. They won't pay me anymore. And so I went and got a third job. And so I stepped into the internet marketing space in 2008 because I was working over 100 hours a week at those three jobs.
eh,
And I was just miserable. I was dying. It was burning me out in every sense of the word. I had, in every 24-hour period, I had like 6 hours to do my eating, my sleeping, my social. Like, I had no life. It was
mm,
just always work. And so I knew that that wasn't the way, and that something had to be different. And so that, I don't even remember one bad day at work. I used to install like air conditioning units in the big yellow school buses you see driving around. And so I'm underneath one of the buses in the warehouse, sweating hot, like installing, wires or whatever. And I kind of just got fed up and I had it. And that night, I, instead of going to bed and doing my normal thing, went to the internet and was like, how do I do this? How do I fix this? What other options do I have? Because at that point, I was kind of drawing a line, like, all right,
mhm,
this old model that I was taught, that I've been really giving it my all for, this ain't working for me. And so I learned about autoresponders. I learned about affiliate marketing. I learned the basics of using this tool called the internet to create an audience and to establish a relationship with them. Um, I remember I opted into my very first capture page. I had no idea what a capture page was. But when I gave him the guy my email address, he sent me an email right away. And he called me by my name. He was like, "Hey, Justin, thanks for subscribing." Like, he wrote this email for me. And I was just hooked. And then he sent me another one the next day. And I'm like, this guy's writing these emails for me. And then, like, the third or fourth email, he was like, these emails you're reading, I wrote these months ago. Like, this is called an autoresponder. And it just opened my eyes to that whole world of automation and what you can do with the internet and the right tools. And so that was like my first big epiphany. Like, I can make money with this. And so that's what I started doing. I focused on list building while I was working those jobs, kind of not really enjoying any of it. I was thinking about and building a list and, writing autoresponder emails and making videos. And, social media really even wasn't around or big a thing back then. And so I just kind of started down the path out of frustration and started making some money. People started asking, how you doing it? What are you doing? Can you share it? That led to me creating my own products. Those products did well, led to me being able to quit working at those jobs. Um, and then I went full time. January of 2008 or 2009 is when I actually went full time, walked away from the third and final job, and I haven't had a job since. It's been fully on my own ever since. We've had years where we've made, low six figures. We've had years where we made high seven figures. We've sold collectively nearly $100 million worth of stuff between our own products, our own businesses, and the clients that we come in to work with. And so that's the journey. That's how I got here. We've been for the last like 8 years, 9 years. Our business model, when I say our, my wife and I, she's my business partner. She's my best friend. We run this business together. And so the last 8 or 9 years, our model has been we take like 2 or 3 clients per year, and that's it. So very sort of low and relaxed type of business model, but these aren't like tiny clients. These are massive clients that already have a business that's doing, 6 and even 7 figures a month in their business. Our model has been we go in, we assess the business and find out where's the opportunity. Oh, it's right there. Let's build a system around that, blow up their income, make them a whole bunch more money, and then you just pay us a percentage of what we make you. And so we ran that model for a good 8 years, had a really nice lifestyle, made really good income from it. About 2 years ago, we started thinking, I kind of getting tired of this model. I think I want to build something on my own again. And so February of 2025, we were about a year and a half, pretty deep into like learning about AI and that whole new world that kind of opened up to us. And we decided, you know what, we're going to use it and just see if we can build a business from scratch with nothing but an idea, um, and just see how long it'll take us to make, 6 figures and actually turn it into a real business. It took 11 weeks is the answer to that question. We made $100,000 in 11 weeks. Um,
Nice.
and kind of like the same, people started asking, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And at the core of all of it was an email list. We were just building an asset, the most valuable asset that any business owner can create. That's a database of people that know us, like us, and trust us. Because when you have the attention of people that respect you and know you and like you and trust you, you can never have to worry about money again because you just listen to them and you find out what are their problems and you give them solutions to those problems, um, and they give you money for that. And so that's our new model. That's what we've done for a long time, effectively, and we just really kind of stepped into to revisiting that model this past year.
That's quite a journey, man. What it take to really say I can't take this anymore. Something has to change. You had mentioned that you came across Matt Basak and he had mentored you, he said. What was one principle? I think you already said this. What was one principle he taught you that still shapes how you operate today? I think you already kind
He said, and Matt's an amazing guy. He's a good friend. I've been to his house multiple times, had dinner with him and his family, went out to his, what he calls God's country, which is like his private cabin and land and, out in the woods with nothing else.
of.
Um, and so he was the very first, like true mentor that really kind of opened my eyes up and like helped me really make my first bit of money on the internet. Um, the one thing that he taught me back then that still sticks out today, that's kind of led everything that we've done, is it's something that he learned from one of his mentors. And it's just a quote. And the quote is, if you want to make money, you sell products and services. But if you want to get filthy rich and make more money than you've ever made, then you have to create and control markets. And when he first told me that, I said, okay, it's kind of cute, but like, what does it actually mean? Like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, you create and control a market by building an email list. That's your market. Those are the people that you can send an offer to every single day if you want, if they're on your email list. And so you create your market by growing your email list,
Mhm.
and you control it by nurturing them, adding value to them, taking them to a place of know, like, and trust for you. And then you put offers in front of them. And when they buy those offers, you make money, whether they're your own or as an affiliate. That was the one thing that, and even like this past launch that you referenced, it was all about building an audience, and we used that quote on the main offer page. You want to make money, sell products and services, and you'll make money.
Mhm.
It's probably going to be a little bit roller coastery, like a lot of people experience. The reason that people don't have that consistency and predictability in their business is because they don't truly own and control the market. A lot of people think they do because, I got a bunch of followers on social media, or I got YouTube subscribers or whatever. Guess what? I've had YouTube subscribers before and woke up one morning in my YouTube channel. I can no longer log in. All the subscribers are gone. The account's deleted. I've
Mhm.
had Facebook accounts deleted. I've had Instagram accounts deleted. Um, People get shouted. You don't own the audience on social media, is the whole point.
Mhm.
What you do own is an email
Mhm.
list. If
True.
Aweber shuts you down, so what? You got the email list. Move to another provider.
Mhm.
Send them another email later that day.
Mhm.
Like you don't. The business doesn't go away if you own and control that asset, and the asset is the email list. And I got to give Matt that credit. He certainly wasn't the only one talking about it back then, but he was the first one that told me about it, and he's the one that talked about it in a way that got me to fully understand it. And that's been the single biggest thing that's contributed to my income over the last decade.
That is interesting. Like I said, I knew you had answered it kinda, but you expanded on there with Matt Basak saying, and at the end of the day, yes, the email list definitely. Especially when you're launching products, that email list. That's always nice. Let's see what I got here. It said, what's something about marketing that took you years to truly understand,
Um,
or not as long?
the best form of marketing is existing client results. If you can sell something to somebody and they can use what you sold them to go get a result, they're going to be happy to go and share that with somebody and introduce that with somebody, or at least give you some positive words that says, hey, thanks for this. This worked for me. This is great. And then you can take those words and their results and use that in marketing. So case studies, like results, that's the name of my wife and I's first company was called Results 513. And so it literally had the word results in it because we were trained from our mentors that, like, there is no, like, you can get as fancy as you want and there's tactics and things that come and go in the world of marketing. Um, but like, what always works better and will continue to always work better is just like, does the thing work? Do people get results? If so, you'll have evangelists. You'll have people that go out and share for you and are happy to, help grow your business because you help them get a result. And so it's a little bit backward. It's not like a tactical marketing, hack or strategy or something. It's kind of a different answer, but it's the biggest lever in business, and people don't focus on that because there's a lot of work in that. You mentioned this new product. It's not a whole new philosophy and a whole new like way to make money. We're still teaching people go build an email list. We just did it in a way. We looked at thousands of people that came through the last launch. We looked at their data and realized that, okay, they're making it through this first section really great. They're kind of getting stuck up right here in this second section. Here's where people are starting to fall off. And so that gives us insight that says, well, how do we make it so that people that are falling off, like, they don't fall off, they just keep going? So we need to make it less confusing. We need to automate it more. We need to make it simpler for them, whatever the case may be. It's that process of just optimizing it. And all of that work was in the name of like, we need them to complete this. Uh, because when they complete it, that's when they get results. And when they get results, that makes our job of selling the thing long time into the future way much easier. And so one of my other mentors early on said, uh, hey, you're asking me for another strategy or another idea, and you still haven't implemented the last one I gave you
Mm,
yet. And so go back to it. Come back to me when you've actually implemented it. And so there's a little bit of that too. Like people like buying stuff
yeah.
and not using it. And our goal with this new offer is like we've architected it to, we can't force anybody to go through and do it, but like if there's a desire there and they actually want to get a result and complete this process, um, then we've built it in a way that's going to make that as easy and fun as possible.
Yeah, I see. It looks like you're gamifying it from what I'm gathering. I'm assuming. Yeah, which is, that's one way to go about it. Because I figured that much by the title of the offer, the new offer coming that's following up. Have you ever turned down any opportunities because it didn't align with your values?
I've turned down three today. So yes is the answer. Nearly every day, there's things that like they have to align for me. There are business models that I have that I could go out and make $1 million in the next 3 or 4 months with. I have no interest in doing it because it's just not the model that I want. It's not in alignment. Um, Most people build a business and they find themselves down the road trying to fit life in around the cracks where it fits. And I've done that myself in previous businesses. What we realized is that's a formula that leads to burnout nearly
Mhm.
every time. I've lost businesses because of that. And so now what we do and what we teach is get really clear on what kind of life you want first. And if you can get super clear on like, what do you want your life to look like? All right, well, how can we create, what kind of business do we need to create to make that life possible? That's the right order. To most people, they'll start a drop shipping business because they saw an ad that said this is the greatest business in the world. And so they just started running down that path. Maybe they don't know anything better and maybe they can make money with it. But for me, for example, like one of the things that I don't want to do is be on phone calls having to try to close high ticket deals every
Ugh,
day of the week.
I
And
hear
so
that.
I don't want a business model that follows that. And so it's a matter of figuring out what do you want in life and then let's go build that business that makes it possible. And so to answer your question, there's tons of opportunities that come my way that they just don't align me. Like opportunities that say that building an email list is a bad idea or not necessary or like the fundamental stuff that I know to be true. Um, like if they're not in alignment with that messaging, then not a fit for me.
Yeah, I can understand that with the whole alignment thing because people they hit me up all the time and like, oh yeah, I got this thing, I got this thing. Hey, how about you let your people know? And I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean to them or nothing. It's like I tell them, I said, my people are like this, they're not like that. So sorry.
I mean, one of the things that I think I do a little bit differently
Yeah.
than other affiliates is I don't know if well, I know I have in the past, but
Hmm.
maybe not more than 1 or 2 times ever have I ever promoted or recommended a product as an affiliate that I didn't personally invest in and at least go through and use to a degree. Um, I just won't do it. I need to know where I'm sending people because you
Hmm.
send somebody and point and say this is good and they trust you and they go to it
Hmm.
and it sucks or it hurts them in any way or it
Hmm.
actually makes their scenario worse,
Yeah.
they're not blaming the person. They're
They're
blaming
looking at
you.
you.
Tell me about this.
Like, what is
Why'd you
this?
tell me about that? Are you not my friend? Like
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
you just gotta keep that kind of stuff in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great stuff. We got some great stuff, man. What do you think most marketers are overcomplicating right now?
Um, the the action and the operating system of it. And so making money on the internet or in any business is not a complicated thing. It's a very simple thing. You need something to sell. You need somebody that wants to buy it. It's got a problem. the thing you're selling is a solution, and you just need some sort of system to match the buyer up with the thing that you're selling. And so that's all commerce is. You find a product that solves a problem, find a person that has the problem, match them up, and there's a sale that you just made money. What most people overcomplicate when it comes to marketing is the other part of that process, that system that connects the two. So maybe it's the part about, well, I can't find the right people, or I can't find any people, or I'm having trouble growing an email list, or whatever. Okay, well, look at that specifically and let's go solve that problem for you as the marketer. And so maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's exploring a different strategy or a different approach. And so it's, I tell people all the time, like building the business is kind of the first, like you got the initial building of the business. So we're teaching people, build an email list with, through a newsletter. So go create the newsletter, set it up to so that you can make money from it, install a money funnel, grow the newsletter. Okay, now that that's done, a lot of people think that, I just, now my business is built. No, you're just getting started. Like
Yeah.
that's when they quit and like start getting off track.
Yeah.
But the real work, the real leverage, the real money is made in that process of optimization. Now that you've got your funnel built or whatever it is, send some traffic to it and then stop, look at the data, figure out what worked and what didn't. My capture page worked. My opt in rate's high. That's awesome. This page worked pretty well. I got a solid number of conversion there, but it just tanked after that. So that's a problem in the funnel. Let me look at that. Let me look at what I'm saying. How can I improve it? And I make a change. Now that I've made that change, my hope is the next round of traffic I send to it, that step in the funnel goes up and not down. And if it goes up, you know that your change was a good one. If it goes down, try something else. But that's the process that most people don't do. It's just optimization. It's showing up consistently enough to continue to like look for new ways to improve. And it's just boring for most people. That's the reason they don't do it. It's not sexy. It's not
Right.
hot. It's not learning a new skill. You don't have that immediate dopamine.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
so you got to kind of learn to love serotonin versus dopamine. You get serotonin by putting effort and like doing the things that's hard, like running a race and beating your best friend.
Hmm.
You get the same exact chemical as you would get as if you did something like, Netflix and chill or
Hmm.
smoke weed or whatever.
Right.
Like
Right.
you still get the happy chemical.
Yeah.
You just get them two very different ways,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
do the
Yeah.
work, do the thing that most people are not doing, and for most marketers, it's the follow through.
I hear you. That was an interesting way how you put it in perspective with the is it dopamine or serotonin? Never think to like see it that way.
Same chemical,
Thank
happy.
you.
You get happiness from it. You
Yeah.
get satisfaction from it. Do
It
you want to
definitely.
do it with actually doing a workout, or do
Yeah.
you want the cheat code where you just
Yeah.
drink some alcohol and eat some junk food?
Yeah. Right.
You'll be happy after each of them for a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Then you're hungover if there's alcohol involved. Okay. It's good stuff, man. It's great stuff. When someone is struggling in this space, what's usually the real issue beneath the surface that you've seen, observed?
Clarity, lack of it. Like when you're not clear on what you should be doing, then your email inbox kind of becomes your to-do list for the day. I literally know people that open up and they go into their email first thing in the morning. And I'm like, that's other people's to-do list for you. And so like create yours, own it, control it, and like you can't create your own to-do list and feel good about it if you're not clear. And so, clear on what? Clear on everything. What do you want your life to look like? What kind of business do you need in order to make that happen? Inside of that business, what is your main priority right now? What do you need to build? What do you need to do? What needs to happen inside of that business? And so these are all questions that you need very clear answers on. And when you don't have that clarity, it's you just you wonder kind of aimlessly. Like you might do the right thing, but you might not also. And so lack of clarity is the thing that I think keeps most people from getting the results that they're looking for.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Um, Really like it. Really like it. So what foundational skills should every marketer master before chasing new tools and trends? Um,
Um, so a foundational skill, I mean, from a business lens, it goes back to that quote that I mentioned that Matt taught me,
right, right.
own an audience, build a market that you control. Um, and so building an email list is a foundational thing that every business owner should be doing. Um, I feel like there might be another answer to that, but I think for the skill, like that would be build a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe another answer will come in here in a little bit,
You're
but
good.
that's kind of
When
what
I
I
was reading the question, I was like, I think you answered this already. Because at the end of the day, you're
okay.
right. It's the asset, the list that we build, that you control the market.
So I think maybe another answer to that would be a mental thing, like a mindset thing. I mean,
True.
like where it says mindset is everything.
Absolutely.
Um, and so it's the way that people talk to themselves. Like a lot of times people are like not very nice to themselves.
Yep.
You got to be conscious of what language you're using, how you're thinking, because how you think will determine how you feel throughout the day.
Yep.
And if you feel good and strong and healthy and clear and excited, you're going to show up in that day very differently than somebody that on the days where you're foggy and you don't
Yeah.
know and you're weak and you're
Yeah.
hungover and
Right, right, right.
all of these things. Like you show up differently, and when you show up differently, you produce very different results. And then those results that you produce feed right back around into your mindset. If you
Yep.
produce a crappy result, you don't say nice things to yourself most of the time. It's
Usually,
like,
yeah.
man, I'm not good enough. Maybe I didn't understand. Maybe this isn't for me. It's all that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're very much connected. You get your mind right and you talk to yourself in the right way, and you stay more so positive than negative. Um, then I think that's a little bit of a hack that a lot of people just never learn to tap into.
You're absolutely right about that because it's like people have to be mindful of the self-talk, especially as like, oh, I'm a piece of crap, or I'm this, I'm that. They're just downing themselves in their head, even if they're joking. The weirdest, I learned this from another mentor. Even when you're jokingly saying it, it's like in the subconscious, it does something. It's like it
Yeah.
reinforces it in some way. But yeah, you're absolutely right about that. What does long-term success in this business actually require that people don't talk about enough?
Um, Genuine relationship, human connection. Um, I mean, an audience that actually trusts you can, like, as long as you don't burn them, you don't
Mm-hmm.
screw them over, you
Yep.
don't lie to their face, you don't say one thing and do something else. Like, if you create and cultivate a relationship with an audience of people, then that thing will that is your longevity. When we stopped, um, one of my last businesses that I walked away from, it was a high ticket, it was a model that I was making really great money. I was kind of done with it though. And so I walked away and I shut down all of my list building efforts. I lived off of my existing list, which was less than 30,000 people, for like 7 years without getting a single additional subscriber. And you don't do that unless you have a genuine relationship. Even the people today, like some of the people that bought our last product when we launched in August, some of the people, those same people that are going to buy this next one when we launch, some of these people bought their first thing from us 10 years ago. They've been like, they buy everything that we put out. Why? Well, because we over deliver. We care about them. We stop every now and then and like connect with the human and actually talk with them. And so it's genuine, authentic relationships from a place of service. If you do that, people will notice, people will feel it, and you'll last in the market. I don't think it's anything about like being, on the right trend or being, having the perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yes, those things help. Um, but what it's really about is the genuine, authentic relationships because it's another human that's paying money in a transaction, like with commerce. So those are real people. They're not just it's not just an ATM.
Mhm.
I used to talk about my email list as like, this is my ATM. I want to make money. I just sent an email.
Mhm.
That's great, and it's true.
Right.
But I changed my language because I'm like, these aren't just an ATM
Yeah.
button that I'm pushing. Like these are actual people, and so I have actual conversations with them, and I listen to them, and what they tell me they need and want. Well, that's what I put in front of them, and that's why I can continue to make money over and over and over and over again for people for many years to come, and they feel good about it. One of the rules that I kind of follow is something I learned from a mentor. He was like, if somebody is not after a year after they bought your product or service, if they're not happy with that purchase a year later, then it's not good enough. You
Mhm.
didn't do a good enough job. And so like that's kind of the lens that I think through everything. Like I want people to be happy, the first day they buy, but also the next month and the next year. Like I want them to think that was a great investment that I made.
Mhm.
Because if they're thinking that, the next opportunity that I put in front of them, they're going to be likely to be interested in.
Great stuff, man. This is the final question here. I actually skipped over one. We might have time to talk about the offer after this one. So, if someone listening wants to build a real sustainable business, what should they focus on first? I think you've answered some of this. I don't know if we could like
Build a
rephrase.
list,
That's what I like to say.
build an email list.
Got to get
Like
that list.
you,
Yeah.
and I'm not the first person that they've heard say that.
Right.
Like
Nope.
I'm hoping that I'm the last. Like you don't even have to buy my stuff to go
Yeah.
through and do it. Like
No, I
lots
think.
of people teach list building.
Yeah.
Why are you not doing it yet? Go
Mhm.
build your email list.
Start ASAP.
People can't take it away once you have the email list. So,
Yeah.
so go build it.
Yep. And that's amazing advice so far. Everything you've shared, amazing stuff. I mean, you got open my eyes to certain like phrases. I like the phrase you said earlier on in the call. Um, but now that we went through these questions, let's talk about the offer now more. Now that we have actually some time to talk about it, probably about 15 minutes or so, maybe less. We'll probably be off with before the hour. So the next offer is a follow up from last year, August of last year's offer, and so so you looked at the data from the customers. I'm guessing through like you see how far they go in the members area with a
Yep.
percentage completed, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming you got the feedback from on your what was it your desk your support desk. It's slipping my mind. So you're tackling the issue with them completing it. Um, is there anything else you want to add? Like maybe like like what direction y'all went? I know obviously gamifying it. It looks like it from the name. Um, anything else you would like to share? Like how maybe like to how what they would expect going around this follow up?
Yeah. So when we had thousands of people come through
Mhm.
the last launch,
Right.
and they went into a members area. It's just like any platform where you post your members area and stuff. As the admin and the creator of it, you can see
Hmm.
who's doing what and how far people are progressing. You can, if you drill in, you can see where are people falling off.
Hmm.
What percentage of people actually start courses, what percentage complete them and like accomplish the results. And so we were just looking at that data. And one of the first things that kind of stood out to us is that there was one of the steps in our process that we were teaching where most people fell off.
Hmm.
And so we started looking at what is this step? What are we teaching them to do? Oh, it happened to be a little bit more of the complex setup
Hmm.
type stuff.
Hmm.
And so even though we taught it in a way that was relatively simple to understand, some people just don't do tech, and that's okay. So that was a big fall off spot for a lot of people. And so that was the first thing that we wanted to resolve and fix and say, okay, well, how can we deliver this differently? And so literally we just spent a couple of months building uh, an entire system that makes it 100% hands off. It's literally done for them now. The thing that
Oh,
was
nice.
keeping them from moving forward
Hmm.
is as easy as clicking a button and say, yep, send the subscribers to me. and then our system on the back end goes and finds their exact intent leads and runs them through our process.
Nice.
And so that's one thing that we ended up uh, really building into this new version.
Mhm.
The other thing that contributes to it is we started noticing that, okay, well, the average completion for a course inside of our uh, ecosystem is, X%. But there's two courses that have like three times that percent. So like 80, 90% completion rate. And we started looking at, well, what is that and why? And the interesting thing is the first one, in order for them to get access to that course, they had to complete something before then. By completing step two, we'll call it,
Right.
you unlock this bonus gift.
Oh,
So what we
okay.
saw by just dangling an incentive in front of them and saying, if you just complete the step that you're on right now, we'll give you this other thing.
Mhm.
Well, completion rate of that thing like is triple what any
Mhm.
other completion rate module is. And so like, okay, that's good to know. You incentivize somebody to complete by giving them something else, they're going to be much more likely to complete it. The other thing that we noticed is once we gave them the additional gift, the thing that they unlocked, the completion rate on that was really high. And so we sort of just looked at that and said, okay, well, if we make them work to unlock something, they're going to be more likely to do that work. If they have to do some work in order to unlock something, they're going to be more likely to go through the thing that they unlocked because they're now invested in unlocking it. And so that's really what gave us the idea of like we need to look at this entire process and just reconfigure it so that it it has that kind of thing built in, and we've gamified it. And we've got a lot of experience doing gamification and installing gamification
Mhm.
and game mechanics
Yeah.
because like as humans we come from competition.
Yep.
Like it's not like we're built for competition. Like we were literally, I mean, you think back to even before you came into this world, you're a little sperm cell swimming super fast with
Right, right, right.
billions of other sperm cells.
Competition.
First one to the egg gets
The
the life.
winner.
And so like that's a competition.
Yeah.
Like from
Yeah.
the very like your birth is a competition. And so like we were born from that competition,
Mhm.
not for it.
Mhm.
And so like we know that people love competition and watching sport. Like you look at the most viewed events on television.
Yeah.
What are they? American Idol,
Mhm.
Super Bowl,
Mhm.
Miss USA, the competition. And
Mhm.
so we know and understand game mechanics. And so we just took all of that information and said, all right, we're not going to teach you an entirely new way to build a business. Like it's still build a list,
Yeah.
but we're going to teach it to you in a different way
Mhm.
so that you're more likely to go through the process and finish and actually have a list. Because we know that if we get you a list,
Mhm.
you will have some results that you'll be proud of. And when you get those results, then you're bought in. Then you start accomplishing the things that you actually want. Um, Not to mention, you're probably a bigger fan of us now that we are the one that showed you how to get some results. And so you'll probably buy more stuff from us in the future, which is a good perk. But
Yeah.
the real driver is getting them to complete because I know that unless they complete it and they build their list and they set that system up, then they're not going to get the results. They're just going to keep on buying random stuff and
Mhm.
chasing shiny objects.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's how we approached it.
Great stuff. Great stuff. I can't wait to let my people know about it, which I will. The link's going to be below, guys. All right. I think the last offer I had 700 back in August, was like $700 plus some bonuses. It'll probably be
Nice.
roughly the same. I have to look at that. I'm gonna have to look at that offer, see what I did, because he's like, I saw the game footage and it was like, oh, Justin, I forget his last name. I'm like, dude, it's Justin Glover, guys. So we just did the call. So you see what's going on. The next offer he's got coming out. Oh, what's the name of it again, Justin? It's something Quest One. Is that the
The Life Thriver income game
is
is
that what
what
it's
it
called?
is.
Yeah, Life Thriver income game.
Yeah. Our company is called Life Thriver.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we have games within our company,
Yeah.
and this game is all about how do you build an income for
Mhm.
yourself. And so that's, you go through quests
Yeah.
and complete them.
Mhm.
Um, and by completing the quests, you unlock prizes. We have prizes scattered throughout. You can unlock journals and pens and coffee mugs and
Oh,
fun
cool.
stuff throughout, just literally by completing. And
Nice.
so there's game mechanics sort of incorporated throughout the whole thing. Um, and each, like, these individual quests are more put together than like full on courses that sell for $1,000. Like, they are, there's four quests,
Mhm.
one product,
Mhm.
but really, my wife and I were talking last night. I'm like, this is like four very unique and like world class level products all in one. So, uh, yeah, Life Thriver income game.
All right. Life Thriver Income Game. You heard it, guys, from Justin Glover himself. Him and his wife, they're a power couple. And thank you for your time, Justin. If y'all guys want to pick up, oh God, I forgot the name. What's again? What's the name of your product again? I'm sorry, Justin. At least
The
Life
income.
Thriver, Life Thriver Income, the income games. Okay, or income game. All right, thank you for your time, Justin. So if anybody, I want to go ahead and pick up my bonuses I have for you guys. That link will be below. And thank you again, Justin, for your time, man. We made it 10 minutes to spare. You know, go and get a breather before you go do your other activities to move the needle even more. Thank you again, friend.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, everybody.
All right.